think that this was built at the same time?
No, I think this was definitely a newer configuration. We looked at some of the structure below, and I think you'll be able to tell that this was definitely newer. It's nice and solid, too.
Another stairwell that goes up to the second floor.
And the plastered ceilings are in great shape.
Old beams.
This is the room back here that our grade was really close. As I showed you, that corner board, some rot. I think we're going to have some sill problems here, and I can also feel some bounce in this floor. This is definitely a problem area.
Yeah, you guys always concentrate on the problems. Let's go look at the master bedroom. That's a terrific space. Do we have a firm date on when it was built?
Not exactly, but we do know it was the early 1700s.
Well, it'd be fun to do that research. Find out exactly when it was built, who built it. Maybe it was a farm. Now, this is the master bedroom. And what I like about this room is that the windows look out over the property. Really extraordinary views.
Yeah.
One thing you don't see in here is the sagging ceiling that's all cracked. These are in great shape.
Well, the ceilings have been replastered, and when we were in the attic, we found out that they're on wire lath, and there's really no better system.
Terrific.
And this room is over our room downstairs, the sitting room. This also has beautiful breastwork up here also, and the beautiful doors.
You don't see that much anymore.
And you don't see details like this either. Deep windows with wide stools, no casings. They're just plastered right in.
It's nice and simple, almost austere.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
Now, they have this space set up as kind of a dressing room, I guess.
Yeah, in fact, there's a walk-in closet here. So I guess they did use this as the dressing area.
Yeah, hollow core door, so it looks like this might have been done at the same time as the kitchen.
And another bathroom.
Another bathroom in there. And then it adjoins a complete suite with its own bath.
Right.
Closet over here.
And there's even a separate staircase, because this is the room right above the library down below. So this would make a great, like, an apartment for a caretaker or a babysitter.
Sure. Well, every time I go through this place, I am encouraged. And, Tom, I just don't think that there's a lot for you and your band of destructors to do.
Band of destructors, Steve?
Wow.
Now, wait a minute now. Before you go talking about my band of destructors and maybe not allowing anything in the budget for me, wait till I take you to the basement.
All right, all right. So this is the bedroom. It's right above that dining room. Same proportions. Terrific room.
Also has a fireplace, and this one's complete with some kind of stove. Looks like a coal-burning stove.
That's interesting. Oh, now, what's going on here? The line above the door is pretty much level, but the line of the ceiling is sloped way off.
Well, Steve, this is the center of the house over here. This is the high spot. The massive chimney is holding this section up, and this is the older wooden section that sags down. And that happens with a house this age.
I guess that's why you buy an old house.
That's right, it's the charm, right. There's a lot of stuff going on back here. There's some little storage areas here. This is actually under the stair that goes up to the attic. Another little closet over here. And then this leads into a bathroom that was tucked in the corner.
Yeah, tucked in is right. It's pretty tight in here.
And then we come back around to the other side of the attic stair. And remember when we were down in the kitchen, we saw the staircase that came up. And that's right here. And that's right off of this small bedroom, the smallest bedroom.
Well, it's good for a kid's room.
Sure
It's
is.
a great little space.
And you can't afford to give up a bedroom.
Not at all.
Well, we got one more level. That's the attic. Right up this door.
All right.
Now, Norm, what would you do with a space like this?
Steve, I think this is where I'd send my teenagers. So they don't, you know, hurt themselves.
So or you. Well, I'm going to face that problem in a couple years myself, so I'll come to you for advice.
Right.
But what do you see up here as builders?
Well, I see a typical post and beam structure. Pretty simple.
Nice heavy timbers, purlins, and roof sheathing. It's in great shape.
All right. What's in here, Tommy?
Well, in here, we researched in here. This tells us that this is basically an addition. And the first signs of it is that it's not post and beam. It's typical true dimensional lumber. And the roof rafters are 24 inches on center.
Any problems?
Nothing to really be concerned about. It's old, Steve.
Okay. What are you finding, Norm?
Well, besides using this area for general storage, they actually made a bedroom down on this end. It's not much, but it is a room.
Well, it is a room. Okay, I think I'm ready for the basement. Scare me.
All right, let's go, Steve. I'm going to scare you already. Now, Steve, tell me, do you smell anything?
Well, maybe just a slight bit of humidity.
Oh, come on, slight. Come on, it's humid down here. You can feel like you're taking a shower for crying out loud. Look at this is an old stone foundation. Stone foundations leak. I've seen worse though, but this is definitely putting moisture into the basement. A brick floor, porous, on dirt, that's putting moisture into the basement too. We have to deal with that problem.
Now, I see a lot of what appears to be new framing here. This is 2x material with fairly modern bridging.
Right, a lot of the first floor frame has been restructured. And some of the details are not great, though. They've notched the joists over the foundation and just towed them into the original sills. We don't like to see the wood against the masonry, but it's holding up pretty well.
Well, so far, Tommy, I haven't been scared.
Well, I know, Steve. Well, humidity is a major problem. Moisture is a problem, and it should be dealt with because it can attack the wood structure of the house and cause major problems. Look at this is the crawl space under that little kitchen addition space. There's a lot of humidity and moisture in there. Insulation is in there. That's holding moisture against the underside of the floor, and that can cause a problem. We have to ventilate that. Over here, if we look close, and I don't have to look too close, but if you look, you see our new frame structure from our addition to our bathroom area.
Oh, that goes out over the laundry room there?
That's right, but
Okay.
look at the sill connection that is made. Look at the shape of this.
Now, that's scary.
That's scary, all right? Now, over to the right is our brick patio. That's why the bricks and everything have to be taken out. The fill has to be dropped so that we're lower than our sill.
Well, still, doesn't look too bad. And besides, look at this. You got a wine cellar here.
It's got a vaulted ceiling, a few racks in here, and a door. Be beautiful.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. The next thing you're going to tell me, the humidity is good for the wine, right?
Well,
is.
we all know that humidity is good for wine.
All right. Well, I'll show you a little problem that humidity can cause. Let's look underneath. This is the floor area. We are under that den area that connects to the sunroom. And if we look right here, this is our subfloor. Underneath our finished floor. Look at the condition of this. Look at how I can just pull that right away. That is rotted. Ooh. All of this subfloor in this whole area is totally gone.
That doesn't look good.
No,
But-
that's not good.
All right, so you got some problems with your subfloor.
Well, we have to remove our finished floor carefully because we want to salvage that. We have to attack the subfloor, and then we have to see the condition of the top of the joists. So there's a lot of work there.
And then back here, we got another crawl space area. This is the room beyond the library. And there's about 6 inches of clearance to the earth, and that's not good.
The sill to the right, that's laying in the earth also. And that far corner where I said was rotted, that could be a problem. But look right in there, I can see a floor joist. If I look close, I can see a big split in that joist. Who knows what else wrong is, who knows whatever else is wrong in there? We have to deal with that problem.
Well, you guys focus on the problems, but you got to admit, this is a lot better than some of the other places we've tackled. True. And it's not just a house, it's a piece of land. It's not just a piece of land with a beautiful house on it, but it's a piece of land with a barn.
By the looks of it, Steve, you got a lot of tree work here.
Well, that's right. That late season snowstorm really did a lot of damage. In fact, there's an enormous Norway spruce at the edge of the meadow there. Lost a major limb. How we know we got some work?
Well, I'm just warning you, tree surgeons don't come cheaply.
That's okay. But look at this barn. What a magnificent structure this is.
Nice shingle building, that classic New England red barn.
And a beautiful post and beam structure. But you know, Steve, if you're even thinking about putting a couple of cars in here, the first thing I would want to do is remove this wooden floor, put some gravel in here, and a good concrete slab for fire protection.
Well, that's a good idea. I'd hate to be responsible for burning this barn down. Looks like there's been some repairs back here.
Yeah, and I was encouraged to see that. The homeowners came along at one point because the sills and the bottom of the post had rotted away because of conditions just like what we've seen at the house, too high of a grade. They cut away the bad material, put in a block foundation, pressure-treated lumber for new sills, pressure-treated studs, new sheathing, and shingles on the outside, and did a nice job.
Saved the barn, I bet.
They'll even frame some of the floor back in again.
And that's another problem we have to deal with. Some of the framing is actually touching the ground, so we have to look at that also.
Now, what explains this contraption up here, the superstructure?
Well, one of the neighbors built a catamaran in here, so they had to hold the heat in.
Ha.
This is where they kept the chickens, back here. What do you think of this? little
Chickens, geez, I could have a
roost.
brother. My brother raises chickens. This could be an antique. I could sell them a chicken coop. What do you think? Hey, make a couple of bucks.
Yeah, maybe.
Over here, there's a couple of box stalls. Maybe we could keep horses here. There's great riding over at the nearby Blue Hills Reservation.
Now, off on the side of the barn, they actually built an apartment. It was the caretaker's little area. The first room that we go into was done with beadboard, and then the next room was much larger, big window down the end, strip oak flooring, and even a fireplace. But as you can see, there's some problems.
This is a room on posts, no foundation. I mean, if you're even thinking about doing anything here, forget it. This is definitely a budget breaker.
Steve, didn't I see a picture that was taken about 100 years ago when there was some kind of glass structure built on this brick wall?
Well, apparently there was a greenhouse here, and they used to raise grapes in the winter. The greenhouse is all gone, but they have left the old bones of it, sort of as a tribute to the past, and I imagine we'll just leave it too.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Now, about this L off the barn, Tommy, you really think this is toast, huh?
I think it's burnt toast, Steve. This is bad shape. Forget it.
Well, it's picturesque.
Yeah, picturesque, right.
I like what they did to the roof. To stop the wood shingles from leaking, they went down and picked up some roll roofing and just laid it on there.
Quick fix.
Well, I gotta ask you guys a $64,000 question. Did we get a good house here?
I think you got a real good house. You're gonna get a good deal. I mean, it's an old house. It's got some problems. You have to expect that in an old place. There's nothing that we can't deal with.
And you're happy with it, Norm?
Oh, I think the house has a lot of potential. All you got to do, Steve, is show me the money.
Ooh, I like that talk. He's my kind of guy.
Well, look, I got a brief meeting with Ginny Devine, the woman who sold us the house. So I'll catch up with you later.
Yep.
And Tommy, thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, here she is. Ginny, you can't bear to leave your daffodils.
No, we spread them out every year and try to make them cover more of the meadow every year.
Well, they are beautiful.
It's,
But I gotta ask you, why are you selling the place?
well, I'm a widow, and my children are grown, and it's too much for me to take care of. And it needs a lot of help, a lot of care, and I love the place, but it needs a lot of people to work on it.
Yeah. You've lived here for a good many years.
39 years. It's very hard to leave. It's hard for my children to have me leave.
Yeah.
The only thing that sweetens it is that this old house is going to be giving it the TLC it needs.
Well, thank you.
It's
Now, what are you gonna miss most about it?
space. The outside space probably as much as the inside, but just having all this room outdoors has
Wow.
been wonderful.
We promise we'll be good stewards. We hope you come back from time to time and check in on us.
I will. I'll be here.
And pick some daffodils.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ginny.
Let's see, if I come out here with about
Hey, Norm.
8 feet.
Forget about it. That building's toast. You can't save it.
I know. But suppose, just suppose for a minute, that I replace it
With what?
with a structure the same size, on the same footprint, nice windows, we can shingle it again, build a deck out here to look out over the garden. And then
Where are you
after
going
that's
with this, Norm?
Well, after that's done, we'll bring in table saw, joiner, band saw, state-of-the-art dust collection, some nice handheld power tools, and plenty of clamps.
So, in other words, the dream workshop?
That's right. Hey, if I was going to live here, I'd have to have a workshop, and it would go right there.
So you see where we're going with this one, folks. So until next time, I'm Steve Thomas.
And I'm Norm Abram.
For this old house. Come on. Who's going to want to buy a house with a dream workshop?
You'd be surprised.
Funding for this old house is provided by
State Farm Insurance. Keeping our promise of protection to generation after generation. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Glidden Paints, celebrating 120 years of making the world a more colorful place. Glidden, a better way to paint.
and by
When it comes to lawn and garden products, we're making a name for ourselves because we guarantee they're built tough from the ground up. That's ACE, the name to know for lawn and garden.
production of WGBH, Boston.
This is PBS.